Hello! I am Laura. Welcome to episode 3 of my Mini Cut 101 series, where I show you the real and raw process of a short-term fat loss phase and the ups and downs that can come with it. So in my last video, I explained to you guys that I've been struggling quite a bit mentally, so I wanted to go into that more. Because although I am no expert whatsoever on mental health, I have managed to learn ways to kind of just push forward or take little small steps forward despite some pretty major ups and downs. So I'm hoping that some of these tips can help you learn how to do the same. People always tell you, okay, well, working out and eating healthy helps with mental health, anxiety, depression. And I know that I've experienced times where certain days, if I'm having a really bad day, it honestly, going in and doing a lift can actually make me feel worse. And when I was younger and getting into fitness and happening to start struggling with mental health at the same time, which is very interesting, it was kind of like I felt like there was something wrong with me because everyone was like, oh, I always feel happy after I work out. And I was like, why do I still feel depressed as shit? So that's why I wanted to go over these tips and explain how to kind of tweak things according to the struggles. So it is day, I don't even know. This was supposed to be, I'm just gonna be super transparent here. This video, I wanted it to be like fun and motivating. I wanted this video to be like fun and motivating, and I don't even know if I want to include this, but so I was just working out and it's really weird. I guess because I've been lifting so long and it is associated with my work. And when it comes to my work, I put a lot of pressure on myself. So I think sometimes, not always, but sometimes doing my lifting doesn't take away stress. Sometimes it actually makes it worse. And I guess that's what it was today, because I was feeling okay. And then during my lifts, I just started like crying and panicking because I just started thinking of everything that I have to do. And like, yeah, so what I'm doing is just kind of dialing things back and just doing what I need and not making it, like, not expecting it to be as perfect as usual. So tip number 1 is adjust, don't quit. So if you're having a day where you're just thinking about your workout and it's like the most daunting thing ever and you're like, oh my God, I can't do it, I'm just not gonna go. Don't do that. Instead, start the workout and assess how you feel. And beforehand, let yourself know that if you have to lift a little bit lighter, if you have to make your workout way shorter. On this day, my workout ended up only being 25 minutes, but I still tried and I still did something. And it didn't, if I just kept stopping altogether every time I felt crappy, then I would start going in a spiral of just not doing anything anymore every time I'm having a bad day. So I tried, I did my warm up, I got into it, and then I just kept getting worse. So that's when I was like, okay, we'll dial things back. We'll just cut this workout short early. And that's what I did. So that's tip number 1, adjust, don't quit. My workout right now, even getting into it was really hard and I just feel kind of like weak. I had to do feet elevated glute bridges, and the thought of setting that up and just like, so for me that was like, oh, I really don't want to do feet elevated glute bridges today. So instead I did hip thrusts. Like, just, it's so minor, but it was enough to be like, okay, I'll do my workout. And then like I changed it up and made it a bit lighter and fast paced. And obviously that's not perfect. And I typically I'm like pretty big on sticking to a routine. But if it comes down to if you're going to do your workout or not, and if you're like in shambles, it's better to just do something. So yeah. So tip number 2 is to make the workout more enjoyable. Enjoyable isn't the best word for it, but when you're training and trying to reach some goals, you sometimes have to do exercises and stuff that you don't love. Like sometimes there's just an exercise in your workout, you're like, oh, I hate that, but you do it because you know it's good for you. But the odd day, again, if it's gonna come down to you just not working out at all because you're dreading it so much, because you're feeling so shitty, in that kind of case, you can make some swaps if it's gonna make the difference of you actually working out. So for example, on this day, I was supposed to do feet elevated barbell glute bridges, and honestly, I hate them. It's more so the setup that I hate, because you kind of get stuck under the bar and it's just uncomfortable, but like I do still feel benefits from it, but I hate them. So I was like, I can hardly like move that was just not gonna happen. Whereas hip thrusts, very, very, very similar, but just slightly different. And I felt like I could do those. I could muster up the energy, because for hip thrusts, it's easier to set up. Still a bit of a hassle, honestly, but it's easier. So because your back is on the bench and your feet are on the ground, so it's a much easier setup. So I did that. So that kind of leads into tip number 3, which is if you try to change stuff up like I just mentioned, but you're still just not doing well, you could completely do a different physical activity. So say if I try to do a lift and I just feel awful, I may go for a hike instead. Just some type of activity that's gonna like clear your head, relax you. Again, you're not going into this being like, oh, I need to burn calories to lose weight, because chances are if you're feeling super depressed and down, by that point you don't even care. You're just like, I don't care anymore. Like, but if you're thinking about doing this as something to feel even just a little better, or at least prevent you from getting worse, sometimes that's all it is, preventing you from getting worse, then that's what you want to do. So keep that in mind. Again, any type of movement is better than nothing. And I think if someone's watching this and they've never really struggled, they're not going to understand. They're going to be like, oh, well, that's no, just work out, no excuses. But I know I've had clients where they say, oh, like I've been so depressed, I've been going through this, like I haven't been able to get out of bed, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And I can understand that. So that's why, rather than being like, no excuses, go lift weights. No, do something still, but do something to keep you going a little bit. Even if you're like snail pace, inching forward, like not doing that much at all, just try to do a little something, and it's just gonna keep you holding on and on track a little bit more than if you just stopped altogether. That's what I just want people to know, that it's not always gonna be perfect, and you just can't let it make you give up. I see it all the time. In a 4-month program, people will start off motivated and then they end just because of little things not going perfect. After a few months, they're like, oh, forget it. They've completely fallen off because they think that everything has to be perfect. And that's just not how it has to be. The past few months, I have had so many slip-ups with my nutrition and my workouts, and it's just been bad. But because I've been so consistent for so many years, and I always try and just hold on and do something, I am able to still live a fit, healthy, fairly lifestyle despite struggles. Like that's it. That's me. So just please, no matter what your struggles are, just take every day, get up, do something. I don't care if the past like 6 months you completely let yourself go. No, today, get up, go for like a walk. That's it. You don't have to like suddenly start eating perfect macros and having this insane workout routine. Just take a walk. Just take a walk. So yeah, aim for progress and little steps forward and not perfection. Okay, and those are my tips. Adjust, don't quit, make the workout more enjoyable, and if all else fails, just move in some type of way. My heart is beating very fast right now. I'm like, I need to stop, I need to lie down. That's it for this video. Stay tuned for the next one. Episode 4, gonna talk about transformation-y type stuff. Gonna go over more the overall picture. We're also gonna start transitioning into what to do after a mini cut, because I know some people were wondering about that too. And that is all. If you are watching this video at the time of release, I wanted to make sure you're aware of my Knockout Body 2.0 sale and challenge. This is our 1-year anniversary sale, and I wanted to do something special, so we're not just doing the program on its own, it's a challenge. So it starts on Monday, October 5th, so that's only a few days from now, and it's gonna be friggin' awesome. There's gonna be winners. Obviously, it's a challenge. There's gonna be prizes. For the 8 weeks, you get to use my Knockout Body Trainer Eyes app, and I love challenges. I feel like the people who participate in my programs really like challenges. It seems to just pump everyone up, so it's just awesome. So if you're interested in checking that out, check out the links in my description box below. I have more details on everything you would need to know, and that is it. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!